Are you having issues with some of the buttons on your GE dishwasher, or maybe the display's broken, you can no longer tell how much time is left on a cycle? Well, I'm Dustin with Parts Doctor, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to replace the user interface control board that goes inside the console of the door of this GE dishwasher. It may look like a lot, but I'll show you step by step, so let's jump right in. The user interface control board is the part of the dishwasher that lets you select cycles, drying options, and delayed start settings. It also communicates with the main control board to display cycle times and indicator lights during operation. Over time, the user interface board can fail due to moisture intrusion, worn buttons, or electrical shorts. When this happens, the display may stop responding, lights may not illuminate, or the buttons may not register your selections. You may also notice that the dishwasher won't start a cycle, the wrong settings appear, or the display flickers or goes blank. Replacing a failed user interface control board restores proper communication with the main control board and allows full control of cycle options and display functions. If you need to purchase a replacement user interface control board for your GE dishwasher, you can check out our website, partsdoctor.com. We offer fast shipping and only sell manufacturer-approved genuine replacement parts for all major appliance brands. Tools needed for this repair: 1/4-inch nut driver or socket, needle nose pliers, and a flathead screwdriver. This video features disconnecting electrical components, so please disconnect your appliance from its power source before beginning. This repair requires your dishwasher to be pulled out to access the door springs and pulley cables. Before attempting, make sure you understand how your dishwasher is connected to power, the drain, and the water line. Every installation can be different, so check out our dishwasher removal video if you need help or clarification with your removal. Not fully understanding this process can lead to you potentially damaging your appliance or kitchen. With the dishwasher pulled out far enough to see the door springs, remove the kick plate if you haven't already. Follow the wires going from the door to the bottom of the appliance. Using a pliers, squeeze the base of the push mount cable tie and pull it from the frame of the dishwasher. Depending on the style of the push mount cable tie, you may be able to squeeze the tabs from behind the frame to release it. Follow the wires to where they plug in to the bottom of the dishwasher. Push the locking tab to the left of the machine to release the wiring harness. We have flipped the appliance over to show you how the connector releases, but you do not have to tip the machine to release it. With the wiring harness disconnected and the cable mount removed from the frame, remove the door pulley cables from the door springs. This is a great time to inspect the pulley cables and the door springs and head over to partsdoctor.com to order replacements if the pulley cables are frayed or if the door springs are corroded or stretched out. Use the pliers on the door springs to prevent your fingers from getting pinched. Slide both the pulley cables off the door hinges by sliding the top connector towards the front of the machine. Place a soft cloth or towel on a flat surface to rest the dishwasher door on once it's removed. Back at the appliance, be sure the wiring harness is hanging free and will not catch as you remove the door. While supporting the dishwasher, open the dishwasher's door about 6 inches. You'll see the notches on the frame that the door slides out of. While supporting both sides of the door, lift it upwards to release it from the dishwasher's frame. If the door doesn't slide out, adjust the door's angle slightly, opened or closed, until it comes free from the notches on the frame. Please do not use the handle to lift the door. Slowly pull the door off the appliance and set it down on a protected flat surface while avoiding setting it on the handle. At the base of the door, remove the 2 1/4-inch screws inside the door cavity. Carefully grasp the bottom of the outer door panel and slide the inner door panel straight up until the internal hooks unlatch from the outer panel. Please use caution, as the edges of the outer door panel can be very sharp. Once the inner door panel slides up, you should see a uniform gap between the control panel and the outer door panel at the top of the door. If this gap is not the same on both sides, the inner door panel may not be unlocked. Once the inner panel is fully unlocked from the outer panel, carefully lift it away and place it on a flat surface to be able to disconnect the wiring harness and remove the console bracket. The console bracket holds the control board and console cover to the inner panel. To remove the wiring harness from the detergent dispenser module, first guide the wires out of the door insulation, then remove the foam block. The foam block is just held in place with some adhesive. On the back of the dispenser module, release the locking tab on the small connector and disconnect the wiring harness. To remove the console, remove the 4 1/4-inch fasteners holding the console bracket to the inner door panel. Move the console bracket and wiring harness to a working surface to remove the console cover from the console bracket to access the UI control board. Remove the 2 hex head screws from the ends of the console bracket. Next, detach the wire from the board by pressing the locking tab down while pulling the connector away from the control board. There are 4 clips on one side and 5 clips on the other side of the bracket that holds the console cover to the console bracket. Release all 5 clips on one side using a small flathead screwdriver while slightly pulling up on the bracket enough to keep the tabs from sliding back into place. On the opposite side, release the console cover from the remaining 4 tabs on the console bracket. Lift the bracket and wiring harness away and set aside. Notice that one side of the board is held in by 5 tabs. Release each of the tabs while lightly prying up on the board so the tabs do not re-engage on the board. Since the board will be replaced, do not be afraid to use a small flathead screwdriver to release the tabs from the board. Lift the board out and now it can be properly discarded. If you need a replacement user interface control board, avoid cheap, low-quality aftermarket parts. For parts that perform better and last longer, choose OEM genuine parts like the ones that we sell at PartsDoctor.com. We've included a link in the description below. Be sure to search with the full model number from the tag on your appliance to find the exact part. To install the new user interface control board, align the board so that the buttons are facing down. Align the notches in the side of the board with the 2 plastic guides and angle that side of the board in first. Once in place, lightly press down until all 5 tabs lock over the board. Return the console bracket to the console cover, being sure that the wiring connection is on the end closest to where it connects to the board. Starting on one end, lightly press the bracket to the console cover until the tabs lock into place. Visually check that all 9 tabs are locked before proceeding. Reconnect the wiring connector to the UI control board, being sure that the tab locks the connector into place. Replace the 2 fasteners at the end of the bracket, but be careful not to over-tighten. To reinstall the console to the inner door panel, lay the panel on a protected flat surface and align the console to the top of the panel. You should feel a small lip of the console cover overhanging on the inner side of the panel. Insert and tighten all 4 1/4-inch screws. Be sure to use the mounting holes where the screws were removed from, as there are multiple mounting spots not used. Do not over-tighten as you can damage the panel or console bracket. Insert the wiring harness plug into the dispenser module. Be sure the connection is snapped into the locking tab. Replace the door foam by lining up the grooves in the foam with the structural rails on the inner panel. Be sure the up arrow is pointed towards the console. Apply light pressure to both ends of the foam to get the adhesive to reattach to the panel. Reroute the wiring harness through the insulation and down to the lower edge of the door. Return the inner panel to the outer panel while holding the insulation in place. Align the panels and rest the top of the inner panel roughly 1/2 inch offset from the outer panel. Slowly lower the rest of the inner panel down onto the outer panel. Be sure that the entire inner panel is within the edges of the outer panel. Standing at the base of the door, start to pull the inner panel down into place. Please do not push down on the console cover. The inner panel should slide into place. This may take some time and some finagling to get fully into place. Check the top of the door where the console cover meets the outer panel to be sure that the inner panel is fully in place. The console cover should be fully flush with the outer panel. Looking into the door cavity, align the inner panel with the mounting holes in the outer door panel. Reinstall both screws, making them snug but do not over-tighten. With the wiring harness hanging down past the base of the door, firmly hold the door on each side and slide the hinges into place on the outside of the edge of the dishwasher's frame. Once the hinges are over the frame, slide the door straight back. Using the same opening angle as you did when you removed the door, slide the door hinge pivot into place on the frame and close the door so it latches. Reconnect the wiring harness under the dishwasher and be sure the locking tab is engaged so the connector doesn't vibrate loose. Press the cable timeout back into the hole on the frame. To install the door pulley cable, connect the plastic connector to the dishwasher's door by sliding it into place. The metal hook on the hinge fits between the 2 outer sides of the plastic connector. Run the pulley cable around the door hinge roller and hook the pulley cable to the end of the door spring. If you need, you can use pliers to pull the spring to reach the door pulley cable. Check that there's proper tension on the spring and pulley cable on both sides. If you notice any slack, the spring may be stretched out and should be replaced. If everything looks good, hold the top of the dishwasher and slowly open the door to confirm the cables move smoothly around the hinge rollers and the door operates properly. Reinstall and reconnect your dishwasher, install your kick plate, and your dishwasher is now ready to use. Well, that'll do it for today's video. As always, I'm Dustin with Parts Doctor. Until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.